During the course of the Second World War, several upspurts of rebellious groups against the Nazi regime occurred throughout Europe, especially in the small country east of Poland called Belarus. These rebels were primarily Jews and other minorities, singled out during the war, giving them reason to run, hide, and even fight back. Now you ask, what can a few rebels hiding in the woods do to upset the power of the German army? Well, these rebel Jews formed partisans and alliances with the Soviet army. Partisans, or Otriads, as they are known in Russia, were small fighting forces which harassed and sabotaged enemy forces' plans, most likely through guerrilla warfare and stealth attacks using their small numbers to their advantage. The Otriad that sticks out in my mind is the incredible story of the Bielski brothers. They formed the largest armed resistance of Jews during World War II. This is their story. The brothers in question were Tuvia, Asuel, Alexander, nicknamed Zeus, and Aram. These brothers were just 4 of 12 children in the family, most of which were brutally murdered by the Nazi Party during their so-called cleansing of the world. The Bielskis were the only Jews within the area of Stankovic, Belarus. When the Bielskis were singled out for their religious beliefs, the Nazis took action in removing the family from the equation, using any means necessary. The surviving 4 members of the family seek refuge in the Naliboka forest, July of 1941. The brothers, having grown up all their lives in the forest, knew it very well, as if it was one giant living, breathing organism. While they fled, the members of the resistance continued to help Jews within the surrounding cities of Linda and Novobrutax's ghettos escape to the forest. Always alert, the brothers, having minimal formal education, used their amazing street smarts and resourcefulness to keep not only themselves alive, but also the growing number of civilians now living within the forest, much of whom had no experience in surviving in the wilderness nor fighting. Tuvia Bielski was the senior and not only multilingual, but also a seasoned vet when it came to combat, having been an enlisted man in the Polish army. These reasons, along with Tuvia's clear thinking and compassion, gave him the responsibility of leading the entire partisan. Tuvia, unlike his brother Zeus, believed in saving Jews, not in revenge on those who altered their lives in the drastic ways the Nazis had done. This thinking made the Otriad more of a community than a military force. Zeus believed in striking out against those who had not only killed his parents and siblings, but also Sila, his wife, and little infant girl, all of whom were either arrested and killed, or on December 8, 1941, marched from the town of Novobruta, lined up at the edge of trenches dug, and then murdered. This one event killed over 4,000 Jews alone.
Wer sie geschlagen hat uns geschlagen. Wer sie geschmäht hat uns geschmäht. Wer sie vergewaltigt hat uns vergewaltigt.
Tuvia and Zeus, despite being close brothers, had their disagreements on how they should go about leading the group, fight or not. This is why Zeus, who already in charge of the reconnaissance, decided to stray from the group and in the midst of war joined the Russian partisan forces under the command of Viktor Pachenko. Along with him, a small group of the partisans' members followed to aid in the fight. Tuvia had a strict policy of accepting everyone. No one was turned away even though food was scarce and the Belarusian winters were harsh and unforgiving. Mix that with the increasing difficulty large amounts of people brought with when it came to relocating and staying hidden. This forced the partisan to constantly uproot and flee from the Germans, many times meaning fierce combat from the armed forces within the group. One of which occurrences in July of 1943 led the entire Bielski party, at that point consisting of nearly 700 members, to flee across the swamps within the Naliboki forest to the island of Krasnaya Gorka, due to the German attack including airstrikes, tanks, and specially ground troops. The members of the group, being anything from children to the elderly, made this march through the sometimes 5-foot deep water by using their belts as a long chain in which the group could hold on to. The strong carried the weak. The march lasted days and literally miles before they reached the island. Once there, the group ran into more German artillery, dodging and fighting this new barrage of enemy guns. The group managed to escape even though weak from marching and half-starved. By the end of the war, the party managed to build a new establishment within the forest, this time consisting of medical facilities, workshops for repair of everything from guns to clothing, a prison, also corrals for livestock, a synagogue, and even a nursery. The nursery was huge because during the formation of the Otriad, Puvia made it clear that pregnancies were forbidden due to the added care of infant needs. To purposely build a nursery signified brighter times and a more stable society within the forest. The Bielski party continued to grow, and by July 1944, 3 years after the four brothers first entered the forest, the Bielskis managed to save an astonishing 1,236 Jews from otherwise death by the hands of the Nazis. So what? Those over 1,200 men, women, and children saved allowed for future generations to live on. Those generations now number in the tens of thousands strong.
I can still see their faces. My parents, all the others. They killed them. Papa and Mama. I should have protected them. We're family. We have to stick together. You have a plan? Only full bullets. And we'll have to make them count. For my brothers, for my parents, and for all the others.
We know these woods. They'll never find us in here.
Every day, more people are killed.
We will send for everyone who is left alive.
The old, the sick, there are thousands. How will we live?
We will protect you.
We will start rebuilding the lives that you have all lost. Everyone will work. There are no exceptions.
And we will become warriors. Fire!
Our revenge is to live.
If you save a life, you must take responsibility for it.
We may be hunted like animals, but we will not become animals.
It is impossible!
Nothing is impossible! What we all have done is impossible!
I almost lost my faith, but you were sent by God to save us.